January 6, 2026 to our regular meeting. We'll call the meeting to order. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, do we have any public input on our agenda lineup this morning? All right, if not, just need an action to approve our agenda.
Move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Alicia, will you call the roll?
Okay, switching it up. Commissioner Schmidt?
Yes.
Putnam?
Yes.
Otten?
Yes.
Aaron's?
Yes.
Landine?
Yes, motion carries. Next, first thing we have to do is elect a chair and vice chair per SDCL 7815. So, first I'll ask for public input on that agenda item. If there is none, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I move to continue with Commissioner Landine as our chair.
Second. Otten.
Got a motion and a second. Alicia, will you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Schmidt?
Yes.
Putnam?
No.
Otten?
Yes.
Aaron's?
No.
Landine?
Yes, motion carries. Next, we'll move to our consent agenda. Oh, I'm sorry, Vice Chair. Thanks, Joel. It's our,
I make a move to, for Jim Schmidt for our vice chair.
okay. Is there a second? I will hand my gavel over to Commissioner Schmidt as the current Vice Chair, and I would second Commissioner Otten's motion. Go ahead, Jim.
I'm sorry.
Well, he's running the show right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
Yes, call the roll, please.
thank you. Commissioner Schmidt? Okay.
Yes.
Putnam?
No.
Otten?
Yes.
Aaron's?
No.
Landine?
Yes, motion carries. Next, we'll move on to our consent agenda. Is there any commissioner or anybody in the public who's asking for any of the consent items to be moved to the regular agenda? All right, if not, can I get a motion to approve?
Otten. Approve.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second to approve. If there's no discussion, will you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Schmidt?
Yes.
Putnam?
Yes.
Otten?
Yes.
Aaron's?
Yes.
Landine?
Yes, motion carries. Next item on our agenda, move into our regular business. First, we have we need a motion to appoint members to boards and committees. Does everybody have the board and committee list in front of them?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just going to run through and ask on each item. Commissioner Schmidt, do you want to continue on your airport liaison?
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm okay with being the alternate again, unless somebody else.
Any public comment before you start?
Well, we'll make them, I'll take public comment before we, I'm just gonna go through the list and see if there's any changes, and then we'll take public comment before that. And then we have Toby on our solid waste planning board. Emergency management communication system member. Does that need to be does anyone know, does that need to be a commissioner? Okay, Doug, do you want to keep that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And then we have a commission member to the Emergency Management Services. Commissioner Schmidt, you okay with keeping that?
Mm-hmm.
How about the EM Services Coordinator? That's Harold. Harold, you're good keeping that? Interlakes Community Action. Does anybody want that? Jim, are you
I'll stay on that.
okay?
We're starting a new,
Yeah, if somebody wants to be on something, let me know. Betty Betty, I've got you as the alternate on that.
It's fine, sure.
Okay. I'm on the JDC Juvenile Board. Is there anybody that wants to be on that? If not, I will keep it. Weed Board, Doug, do you want to stay on Weed Board?
Yep, that's fine.
All right, and then I've got P and Z Board. Is there anyone that wants to be on P and Z Board? Betty,
I'll keep it if nobody else wants to be there.
all right, Joel, have you done P and Z before?
Yep, several times.
All right, Betty, I'll leave you on it.
I'm fine.
Okay. Planning and zoning, alternate. I've got Schmidt. Does anybody else want to be the alternate? You okay keeping it, Schmidt?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Joel, you're the school police liaison officer. You good with keeping that?
Yes.
And then Betty, you're the alternate.
That's fine.
And then we have the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. That is,
It's customary that the chair stay on there.
well, that's my understanding. It requires meetings
Yeah.
and stuff every month.
We don't belong to the chamber anymore.
They still have invited us as onto that board.
When did that happen?
They've had that issued for quite a while.
Yeah, Schmidt was on it before, and then I think I've been on it the last
It's interesting.
2 or 3 years, maybe longer than that.
Largest city in our, never mind.
No, but I'm asking.
Yeah. No, they've had, Joe,
I'm asking, when did they invite us to be a part of it after we told them we are not renewing our membership?
They haven't said otherwise, and I still get all of the invitations, so I don't know the answer to that.
it's been practice since I was on the chamber that they always offered an ex-official position to attend these meetings to the county of Minnehaha and Lincoln, so.
Jim, you want to be the alternate on that still? Are you good being the alternate?
Yes.
Sioux Metro Growth Alliance,
We're not a member anymore. We did not renew our membership with them.
do you know if they've told you that they don't want anybody from the commission on there?
No, they haven't said that, but it only follows that if you don't pay your membership, you're no longer a member.
Joel, we talked about that, about becoming a member because they are an economic development for our county as well as other areas, that we readdress that and do join that at some time.
What you and I talked about specifically is that we would take money away from other nonprofits and pay for that membership, but that hasn't happened yet.
What I will do, we'll contact them, and see if they still want a commission, member. I know with the chamber on the board, it's a non-voting spot. And so I don't know if it is that on the Metro Growth. I mean, do they have votes, Joel? Okay.
Do not.
I'll contact them, and if they still want a commissioner on there, I will go ahead and do that unless somebody else wants it. And then Betty, I've got you on as alternate.
I prefer not.
Okay, so we'll take Betty off. And then Schmidt, if they want us on there, do you want to be the alternate on that? On the Sioux Metro Growth?
I will.
Okay. I've got Commissioner Putnam on the Regional Railroad Authority. Commissioner, you want to keep doing that?
I guess I have no clue what the railroad authority is, but that's all right.
All right, well, if you don't have a clue and you've been on it all year, does somebody else want it? If not, I will go ahead and take that. Harold, I've got you on the Wildfire or Wildland Fire Division designee, you're good with that? Commissioner Schmidt, you were on the executive board of CCOG.
Yes.
You're good keeping that? You're good at, you want to keep that?
I'm good with that.
All right, and I'll continue as alternate on that, unless somebody else would like it. If not, then, we've got 3 commissioners left. They're listed as, on the UDC board. So is everybody okay with leaving that as it is?
Yes.
Yes, me too. Joel said yes.
Okay, thank you. And then we have Toby and Terry as alternates on that board. And then we have Commissioner Erringer on the Southeast Mental Health Board of Directors.
Yes.
Good with that?
Yes.
Okay. And then we have an alternate, and I'm the alternate. Does somebody else want to be the alternate on that? If not, then I'll keep it. All right, so I've got the list here. I'll take public input on the board and committee
I've got a
positions.
question.
Yeah, what's your
before we
question?
go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess I was on the airport board, but I'm not, and I would like to be.
Well, this isn't the board, this is a liaison.
Yeah, this isn't the board.
Board member?
It's a liaison, though. It's not like
Okay.
what you guys have been working on. All right, is there any public input on the board and committee positions?
So you can still participate.
Yeah, I kind of realize this is a joke, so that's all right.
You can still come up. I was just going to put it up on the camera so everyone could see. It's not what,
All right, can you pull it? Toby? All right, is there public input on the list?
Linda Montgomery, Fairview, South Dakota. I apologize when we elected a chairman and vice chair that wasn't prepared for public comment right away, and it was done before, I don't know, I missed that. But on this board, I think it's excessive for one commissioner to be on 7 different liaisons, plus being vice chair, and plus being on a number of committees for the South Dakota Association of County Commissioners, where Lincoln County actually has more people on the South Dakota County Commissioners than any other county in the state. Also,
Just a minute, Linda. Hang on. What did you say?
I'll let you address
Oh,
it here in just a
yeah.
second, okay? Go ahead, Linda.
yes, and I'll just repeat that so it'll clarify. I've been looking at the South Dakota Association of County Commissioners, and Lincoln County does have the largest representatives on that whole board than any other county in the country, or in the nation, in the South Dakota. But I feel that we are at risk, and have been for a long time, of no change. Since I've been coming, Commissioner Landine has been commissioner, or chairman. Commissioner Smith, has been vice chair for a long time. And I just think that we have elected people, that this board should reflect what we, as the people, have voted for. And I just, and to Commissioner Putman's question, I know this is liaisons, But I believe that we also need different liaisons. Commissioner Schmidt is not only the liaison for the airport, but he's also on the board. And I just feel that we're looking at this very narrow-mindedly when the same people continue to be liaisons for these committees. And I was hoping this year would be different. And it's kind of the same old, in my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. So other public input on the list that's on the screen?
Madam Chair?
Yeah, go ahead, Jim. I know you wanted to address,
Linda, to your point about the South Dakota Association of County Commissioners, there are 3 counties in the state that have 2 members. They are Minnehaha, they are Pennington, and they are Lincoln. And that's due to the size of the population of the counties. For a long time, Lincoln only had 1, but when we reached a certain threshold, we were allowed to have 2 on there. So we've had 2 members for, I think, the last couple of years.
I understand that. Excuse me,
Yeah.
Madam Chair, may I answer his question?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What I was referring to, I saw the 2 members, but it's the amount of boards that Lincoln County people are on for the South Dakota Association of County Commissioners. You are on a number of boards. Commissioner Landine also is. And then to come, and then to have the both of you be on liaisons for so many committees here, I just think it's, I'd like to see other people get training, other people be more involved. Thank you.
Any other public input?
Can I rebuttal on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Linda, we are serving on the South Dakota Association. We are elected from the Southeast District of 6 different counties that vote, and it's a nomination. It's an elected position. They've been there for a long time. I don't know that we've had any other issues other than that, but apparently we do.
What we're talking about now are the board and committee positions that
I'll be happy to talk to you afterwards, Linda.
are up on the list. Is there any other public input on that list? If not, can I get a motion, please?
Otten, approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, if not, Alicia, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Schmidt?
Yes.
Putnam?
No.
Otten?
Yes.
Aaron's?
Yes.
Landine?
Yes, motion carries. All right, next item on the list is a motion to reconsider elected official salaries for 2026. And it's my understanding, Commissioner Otten, that you had asked for this to be put on our agenda this morning?
Yes, I'm going to have Carrie address.
Okay. I just want to,
You're good.
I'd like to know kind of where this was coming from, and I don't think the elected officials have asked for us to put this on the agenda.
No, I
So-
did.
Okay.
Yes, I did, and then I talked to Carrie about that, because I don't think it was if I could have rescinded my vote, I would have, because I think that our salaries for our elected officials, we have that, I think we had it in our budget for 5.5.
Yes.
And so today, we're going back to the 5% annual increase so that they're in line with the rest of the employees.
Correct.
So that was my add back to this agenda item.
Okay. And I think there was comment when the last vote came around about a step or a cost of living. It's not the same for elected officials. They don't get a step per se, but historically we have given them the same raise as as we do everybody else. And so I know we did the 2.5 and the 2.5 for everybody, so you're now asking for that to be the same as what all the employees got.
That is correct.
Okay. Carrie, what do you have that you
I
want to
I don't
add?
really have much except for the details of what those salaries would look like. Again, just reinforcing that it was in the budget for 5.5%. We're asking for 5 to align with a 2.5% COLA, as well as just a regular increase of 2.5%.
Well, it's just a regular increase of 5%, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, after the fact, there was some issues with compression, I think, in at least one office with the elected official. And,
One for sure, definitely, yeah.
and that was in the sheriff's office.
That is
correct?
Correct.
And that's why, when I learned of that, I wanted this back on our January 1st meeting to address that.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Any public input on this agenda item?
Good morning, Scott Montgomery, Fairview. I got 2.8%. Why should I keep going backwards and you guys keep going forwards? I mean, this division can't continue. That's all I got to say.
Any other public input on this agenda item?
I'm Sherry McKinney, Canton, South Dakota. On the December 2nd meeting, that it was discussed and voted on, and it seems like this is not the first item that since I've started coming to these where something isn't to somebody's liking, and then they bring it up again at the next meeting. So it was discussed at the December 2nd meeting, and you voted for the 2.5% increase, and I think it should stay that way. And also, on the meeting where you discussed having a special market compensation for $24,500 that was passed, I think if you're looking at increasing wages, maybe you should wait till this market comparison analysis report is presented, and you can go from there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Other public input?
Good morning, Sarah Stever, Lennox. I had the same question about the study, whether or not that actually got done, and if that's what precipitated this, your market study on salaries.
The study is, it's going to be done. I don't know where we're at in the process. Carrie maybe can answer that.
Yeah, we're just in the sorry, so people can hear. Yeah, we're just starting. It'll take about 4 months to complete the study, so it'll be a while before we're able to complete that, but yeah. So we're just kicking it off now.
So curious what the outcome of the study, what do you intend to do with the outcome of the study? That's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there other public input on this agenda item? All right, if not, is there a motion that somebody would like to make?
Well, I'll make the motion, Otten,
I'll second it.
What's your motion, Commissioner Otten?
to go with the 5%.
5%.
And Commissioner Schmidt, is that your second?
Yes.
Okay.
Bring it back at 2.5.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
We give or told the other people that they can only have 2.5%, and now you're thinking we need 5%?
The other, who do you mean by the other
Well,
people?
We voted for, I guess, Joel. What was that we voted for on the 2.5% for the other employees? Do you know?
Well, he's addressing the question to Commissioner Aaron, so.
The employees got 2.5% increase and 2.5% step in.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Other discussion on this agenda item?
Madam Chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm still opposed to this. I think the 2.5% increase that the elected officials got is more than adequate, and we need to send a message to people in Lincoln County, as well as the rest of the state, that elected officials need to live just like the residents and the citizens that they govern. It's important, it's ultra important that the public understands that when you're here in Lincoln County, median household average wages have only gone up 16.5% in the last 5 years. Government should not grow faster than what median household average wages are growing. Average household wages are not growing at 5%. And this just shows, it's not only tone deaf, but it creates a structural imbalance. When we pay government officials better than what the citizens who we govern are, those citizens pay the property taxes that pay these salaries. We need to be in line, not above. These people don't rule above. They serve at the pleasure as elected officials, and they need to be paid as such. Thank you.
Commissioner
Chair.
Hatton, yeah, go ahead.
I also want to address, like, even if we look at this list with the state's attorney, I think he's probably only one of, not that I know of any others, that actually still does cases in Lincoln County. The other ones don't do cases, is my understanding. So it's not apples to apples to me.
No, I agree. And I know in particular, I think the sheriff in Minnehaha County makes a significant amount of money more than our sheriff. And I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve it. But I do think that we need to get the salary study done and get that going. But I think it was a real slap in the face to our elected officials to pay them less than we pay any other employee of the county. So I'm going to support this motion. If there's no further discussion, Alicia, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Schmidt?
Yes.
Putnam?
No.
Otten?
Yes.
Aaron's?
No.
Landine?
Yes, the motion carries. Then we have the commission salaries for 2026 as the next item on our agenda. Carrie, come on up.
Carrie Elling, Director of Human Resources. I'm presenting a few options for salaries for discussion. We did budget for a 5.5% increase for this year. There's 3 options proposed there. I will leave it up to discussion as to what the recommendation is. Personally would recommend sticking with the 5%, being in line with what we're doing with the elected officials, but you have several options to choose from. And I can certainly calculate others if you'd like to see them as well.
Thank you. This is something that's a little bit different for me than from our other electeds and our other employees. I know what Scott Montgomery referred to earlier, the 2.8, that was the federal increase or whatever. So I can support doing a 2.8 for the commission, but I don't think I'm going to support anything higher than that. Thoughts from the commission?
I think increasing the commissioner pay is a slap in the face to taxpayers. Taxpayers are being soaked. They're being told, we're bad people, we don't care about elected officials if you don't want to increase their pay. Nothing could be further from the truth. We are insulting taxpayers by continuing to tell them that they have to pay their elected officials more in order to respect them more. Respect does not equal more pay. Respect equals more conduct, and the conduct is you have to live like the citizens that you govern. Frankly, I'm going to support a 5% cut to the commission's salary this year. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Other board discussion?
I concur with Joel.
Madam Chair,
Yeah, go ahead.
that makes good political rhetoric, and it certainly plays to those individuals. But I have yet to find anybody that says to the thousands of miles that we travel without any compensation, and we pay for our own way. For the times that we go to national conventions and we pay for our own ticket, we pay for our own time because we're committed to better government. And then to tell me that we are slapping in the face of the taxpayers, I don't know what taxpayers you're talking to, but I've got about 8,000 people up there that would disagree with you. So consequently, I totally am opposed to that kind of attitude. The other part is this. It makes wonderful things to say that we're going to throw ourselves and give a vow of poverty to serve the public. But on the other hand, you got to attract people that want to have committed, that have a fundamentally positive purpose in serving, not just a single agenda or one little edge that they want, but are really committed to the greater good, to the development of a county. So therefore, compensation is necessary. I had a political science professor tell me that that's what we should do to attract the best and the brightest, to pay a salary that was commensurate with the responsibilities. Thank you.
You know, I'm going to chime in because this is a bunch of political rhetoric. So for instance, Southeastern Council of Governments, Joel Arians, did you go to one single meeting last year?
I don't know.
No, you didn't. But you're getting paid to go to those meetings.
No,
So I
didn't.
can understand your request to cut.
Actually, Madam Chair, we decided that for Southeastern Council of Governments with the UDC, that Terry and Toby would attend because they are the professionals and they make those decisions.
That's not true. I was on that board for years.
It is true because I talked to Terry and Toby about it.
They go, and they're invited to go,
No, it's true.
but these are
that-
responsibilities as well.
It's true that that is what we decided to do.
So I go to lots and lots of meetings
So do I.
that I'm assigned to. So
Have you been to the Southeastern Mental Health Board of Directors?
they
No.
haven't called any meetings to my knowledge, and I'm the alternate. Have
Yes,
you
they
not
have.
been able to go?
Last year, before I got on it, you were the primary. You never went.
Do you?
No, you never went.
I know, but do you go?
Yes.
When
I
was the
have been.
last meeting?
The last meeting was a couple months ago.
Okay, if you need me to go, all you have to do is let me know.
In fact, when you were the primary person on Southeastern Mental Health Board of Directors, they had never seen you.
They had never invited me to a meeting.
They don't need to invite you. You need to go out and seek it out. You need to show leadership. You don't need to wait for an invitation.
Yeah.
You don't need to wait for an invitation. You need to go on your own. That's called leadership.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
call the question, please.
Yep, Alicia, we call the roll.
Well, what is the motion and why has there
What
been
is
no
it?
public input?
All right.
All right, we'll take him.
Commissioner Sally, I'll take public,
input.
yep. No, I'll take, if there's a public input.
Linda Montgomery, Fairview, South Dakota. I just heard when I asked about the consent agenda, I was talking with our auditor, Sherry Lund, and I asked her about the SDACC and the National Association of County Commissioners, because I was looking at the budget for travel and education. And so she provided that. And I said, so for the National Association of County Commissioners, who pays for that? She said the county doesn't pay for that.
That's correct.
The NAC does. She pays them and they reimburse her. So when we talk about
That's not
being
true.
above board, well, I just heard that from your auditor.
So the item on the agenda is commissioner salary.
Linda.
Commissioner Putnam, you are out of order. Linda, you do not have the floor. The item on the agenda is commissioner salaries. We've heard commentary from the commissioners. Is there public input on the agenda item?
Morning, Sarah Stever.
Good morning, Sarah.
I just wanted to point out that state legislators make $16,348 roughly a year with their per diem, which would cover the 40 days that they're working out there. $7,120 for a total of $23,468 a year. And I think they work pretty hard too. So, thank you.
Thank you. I would agree with you. All right, any more public input on this agenda item? If not, can I get a motion, please?
on the floor.
Do we?
Yeah,
I don't
a
think,
second.
We don't have a
We
motion,
do
but I
not-
make a
No, we do
motion.
not.
My
We-
motion is to cut pay by 5% from
I
last
second
year.
that motion.
there's a motion and a second. Alicia, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Schmidt?
No.
Putnam?
Yes.
Otten?
No.
Aaron's?
Yes.
Landine?
No. Can I get an alternative motion, please?
Motion to restore to elected officials to 5%.
No, it's for us.
It's for us.
This is for us?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
I indicated that I would support.
2.8? I'm going to be
2.8.
conservative and go 2.5.
Okay, that's your motion. Is there a
Yes.
second? Motion fails for lack of a second.
I make a motion 2.8.
Got a motion for 2.8. Is there a second?
Yes.
Okay. A motion for 2.8 and it's seconded by Commissioner Schmidt. Alicia, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Schmidt?
Yes.
Putnam?
No.
Otten?
Yes.
Aaron's?
No.
Landine?
Yes, motion carries. Next, we have our 3 legal newspapers.
And I'll speak on this, Paul Anderson, Commission Assistant. Yep, the county needs to select 3 legal newspapers to publish in. 2025 was Sioux Valley News, Lennox Independent, and T Weekly as a legal, and elected to publish in the Dakota Scout. And the commission has the ability, or needs to choose at least three legal newspapers for 2026, with the recommendation listed there.
All right, so last year, Sioux Valley News, Lennox Independent, and the T Weekly were our legal newspapers, and then we had the Dakota Scout. Would anyone, first I'll take public input on the agenda item. All right. if
Madam
there's no
Chair, I would-
Public input, is there a motion?
I would move that we use the 3 current ones, Sioux Valley News, T Weekly, Lennox Independent, and that we continue with the Dakota Scout.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. If there's no discussion, Alicia, will you call the roll?
I have a discussion point, Madam Chair.
Okay, go ahead.
The taxpayers should not have to pay a 4th newspaper when it's either not required by law and it costs extra money. We don't need to pay the Dakota Scout more money, and I see Joe Sneevy walking into the meeting right now and probably want to talk about it or listen to it. But the fact of the matter is, taxpayers shouldn't have to pay more money for an extra newspaper. In fact, what I support, and I wish our legislature would do this, is move South Dakota to an all-internet-based system where one does not need to have a subscription to a newspaper in order to get on to said website and access the classifieds, the legal classifieds, that is. But with regard to naming 4 newspapers, it's just an extra additional cost that the taxpayers shouldn't have to bear. I've never heard one person say, I wish I had a 4th newspaper for my legal classifieds. There is no call from local taxpayers asking for this. There's no call from voters or citizens asking for this. There's no need. It's not a necessity. It's a nicety. It's a need, or excuse me, it's not a need, it's a want. And we need to, balancing your budget and saving money is done with pennies and nickels at a time. There is no silver bullet dollar that you're going to be able to use to cut the budget, but this is one way of doing that. The way of doing that is you have to look for all these little things that add up over time in order to save your budget. I held 3 town hall meetings with taxpayers over the property tax issue, and what they told me
Can I
is,
call the question?
what they told me,
I want to comment.
what they told me
Comment on this
is
one.
they want us to cut cost. And so this is a direct response to the public asking for costs to be cut. Thank you.
And I'm going to disagree with your, I guess, reasoning, although I do understand it. Dakota Scout has a large readership, as I understand it, in the Sioux Falls area, my district. Most people are not getting the Sioux Valley News, the Lennox Independent, or the Tea Weekly as a newspaper. At least I would not imagine that they are, since they don't live or reside in those areas. So I'm going to support this because we always sit here and we talk about transparency and we want everybody to know what's going on. So I am going to support publishing in the Dakota Scout. Is there other discussion?
Madam Chair?
Go ahead.
You know, with all due respect, and again, the tax-paying rhetoric about cutting, I don't know that it's a budget buster to belong to your local papers. But if you talk to the constituencies, I think of the Canton area, of Lennox and T area, and even of Sioux Falls, this is the best method possible for they get the word out, to read something, to learn about what's going on. There's all kinds of issues that seem to arise over Facebook or social media that sometimes lack validity in any shape or form. So it's nice for the taxpayers to get a direct line to find out what actually goes on in our county meetings. So I agree with Commissioner Landine. Why not have more information? I know that the Sioux Valley News has put out an excellent report to the public on what we talked about for this building next door, our old courthouse. What a way for the people to understand what the options were, and without that paper, I don't know how many people get on and read on a line. But also, I like the idea of a local paper, and I think that if we're able to help support them in their effort to carry our county news, that's a wise investment. So I'm going to support.
I think it was fully supported at our organization meeting last year to have the Dakota Scout on board.
It was not. I voted against it.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Okay, we call the question.
Yep, I'm going
Get
to
this
call the
thing done.
question. Alicia, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Schmidt?
Yes.
Putnam?
No.
Otten?
Yes.
Aaron's?
No.
Landine?
Yes, motion carries. No public comment? Oh, I'm sorry. We've already voted, but go ahead and come on up, and if somebody wants to remove it.
I want to hear the public comment.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I do too.
It's fine.
Scott Montgomery Fairview. I notice there's a big opinion that the people need to know. Why don't we have our meetings at night? Have you noticed more people show up at night than they do during the day? So if you want people to know what's going on, have the meetings at night so they can be here firsthand.
I'm going to
Put it in the
take,
paper.
I'm going
Thank
to take
you.
public input on the agenda item, which is the legal newspapers of the county. Any other public input?
Teresa Zomer, Sioux Valley News. There is a website out there. You don't need a subscription to a newspaper. You can go on the website anytime you want, read any legals from any county. You can even coolly search it for certain states, the area of the state, the city, different ones. You don't have to have a subscription to a newspaper to read all the county's legals. You can go log on to South Dakota Notices. Thank you.
Thank you. Other public input on this item? All right, since we already had motions and voted on it, we can rescind what we did. If somebody wants to do that, I would need a motion to rescind the last vote. If there is none, then we will leave everything as is and continue on. Next item is board action to approve our 2026 administrative leave for holiday.
Kayla Rowling, Director of Human Resources. I am proposing that we allow our staff to leave at noon on Christmas Eve holiday, which is a Thursday this year, with 4 hours of administrative leave.
And everything else would then stay the same?
Yes.
Right?
Yep,
Okay.
this would be the only change.
And you said that was in our handbook?
All the other
holidays?
ones are in the handbook, yes, this one
All
is
right.
not.
Is there any questions for Carrie?
For 26, yeah.
All right. Is there any public input on this agenda item? All right, if not, can I get a motion?
Motion to approve, Betty Oden.
Is there a second?
Need public input.
I did ask for public input.
And nobody came?
Second.
We got a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, Alicia, will you call the roll?
So I have a question. Are we just voting on Christmas Eve here?
Correct.
Essentially, yes.
Well, and you're saying that they're not gonna make any other changes.
Well, I didn't hear that part.
Well, this is the request that they had.
Well,
Yeah, just to clarify, everything else is in the handbook, so we're not making any other changes. The rest are in the handbook.
okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Is that everybody's understanding of the motion that's on the floor? All right, Alicia, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Schmidt?
Yes.
Putnam?
No.
Otten?
Yes.
Aaron's?
Yes.
Landine?
Yes, motion carries. Next, we have a board discussion on the old courthouse roof. Commissioner Putnam.
I had the opportunity with John to go up there and look at that roof up there. And I didn't realize that they built a building over a building 120 years ago, 130 years ago, whatever. And that's quite a, I don't know, Ripley's, believe it or not, should be up there looking at it. There's wood up there that's getting kind of dry rotted because it's been there for 125 years, but the overall build of that building, when they built it 125 years ago on top of the roof of the other one and beside it and over, they used some pretty stout lumber to build that, and it looked a little like me to be overbuilt. So that thing's gonna be around for a little while yet. It just amazes me how they come up with all of the trusses and rafters and everything that they did do on that. So we have a building that can sit there, isn't gonna hurt nothing. We don't have to spend $1.5 million, tear it down, or $5 million, whichever one it is. And just relax and let it sit there, and if we need it for a little something, we got it. And besides that, there's no sense getting worried about it anyhow, because we're gonna be utilizing that until they open up that other building. So there's my take on that. Then we've got the next one, I guess. Do I keep going, or should I sit down and you tell me I can talk?
Well, it's board discussion on the old courthouse
Okay.
roof. So is there any other discussion on that agenda item for the commissioners? Is there any public input on that agenda item? All right, if not, then we'll move on to item 7.
Oh, we got somebody here.
Go ahead. Good morning.
Doug McKinney, Canton. I sat on the board, and I'm in agreement with Commissioner Putnam. That building's gonna be here a lot longer than we probably will be. And start doing some of the maintenance. That was neglected for 5 years. Nothing was ever done to it. Start doing a little bit at a time like we talked about on the committee.
Other public input on that agenda item? If not, then we'll move on to item 7 on our agenda, which is a board discussion on the Marvski-Lincoln County Airport and future development. Commissioner Putnam?
Yeah, that's quite a little story there. I thought I was kind of maybe on that board, but it don't look like I am, but it don't matter. I found, or I should say, Sherry got me a document here that shows how much we lost in the last 8 years. Okay, now, in my office, I had 3 of the people from the airport, kind of a board, and David there. And we talked about it, and they contended that, oh, they're only $50,000 away from being in the black. And then, of course, I brought up this piece of paper, and all 4 said it wasn't true. Wasn't true. Well, I believe that Sherry willfully and with everything, she drew that up because it was the thing that was real and truthful. And so, after that little episode, I was blacklisted from talking to anybody on the airport board again, and then Commissioner Smith, he goes around my back, and he talks to everybody on the board, said, we gotta get her done, we gotta get her done. And Commissioner Aaron's, he said, well, did you talk to Putnam about that? Oh, I can't get a hold of him, it goes to voicemail. I've never had a problem with 2 phones. So that was a lie. Henceforth. Now, this whole thing is trying to figure out what to do and how to do the airport. I had, I wanted to talk about this, and I had Paul call me and dressed. He was worried, the fact that I might say somebody's name or I might get crazy. And he was concerned.
I'm sorry, who was concerned, Commissioner?
Paul. And it's all right. And David, he's an airport personnel, and he's hired by the county. He wouldn't return my phone call till after we voted on everything. Then, I don't know, a narcissist told him, or maybe suggested the fact that afterwards, call me and let me know that there may be something to be done at the airport. I could make a decision. There's ice on the side roads of the airport there. Should I put a little salt down? I hope they all had a good laugh about that. This whole airport's kind of a joke. It needs to be revamped, figured out, and going forward, there needs to be more accountability, people taking care of it, and Commissioner Smith's been on the board, this county commission since '99. 20 years ago, when they made the deal of the 15 cents per square foot, or 14, whatever it was, I don't recall. It stayed that way, and it stayed dormant, and the taxpayers of Lincoln County had to cough up money to keep it in business with no accountability. So I personally think that this is a sad affair and it needs to be rectified, and I would like to ask Commissioner Smith to step down from the airport board. And that would be that. He can do what he wants.
All right, any other discussion on the commission?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I think one of the issues that the public needs to know about is, yes, on the operating budget, we're $63,000 in the red. But that is excluding capital outlay. And the capital outlay, when you add that in, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Commissioner Putnam, that drops us down to about, on average, it drops us to $250,000 in the red. And so when Commissioner Putnam says things like, well, the airport board came to him and told him that they only run 50 to 60,000 in the red, that was not the whole truth. The whole truth is the airport runs, when you include capital outlay, and capital outlay is just a fancy term for fixing up the roads and the runway and all the other, capital intensive infrastructure that's out there at the airport. And granted, that 250,000 added on to that 60 or whatever it is, that's like our 5 or 10% contribution. The federal government pays the other 90 or 95%, depending upon what the specific issue is out there. So it's just important in terms of transparency. So you won't get a blow-by-blow like this in the Dakota Scout. They'll just print the minutes. But in terms of the actual transparency, it's important for taxpayers to know that on average, we're running about a $250,000 debt out there. Because you got to include capital outlay when you're talking about expenses. And hopefully, and I would just note, hope is not a governing strategy, but hopefully we can come up with a strategy out there that will do away with both the capital outlay debt as well as the operating debt. We did increase the leases to be what some of these guys call the highest in the state of South Dakota. And yeah, that's true. But it's still not enough to wipe out the operating budget as well as the capital outlay budget. So as we move forward with this airport discussion, we need to make darn sure that the taxpayers are made whole. And I would note, it is not political rhetoric to ask for taxpayers to be protected. It's common sense. Now I know, whenever you ask for a cut around here, it's political rhetoric, but when you want an increase, it's good governance. That's what we hear, that's what we're told. But what you need to be told today is also the truth. We're running in the red when you run the airport. And so I appreciate Commissioner Putnam creating the floor to talk about this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion from the board?
Madam Chair?
Yep, go ahead.
Commissioner Putnam, I've never been called a liar before, but I would hope that you sometime would get the facts straight. As far as you're a member of the board, there is a difference between being a liaison and being a board member. You're welcome to attend. But I want to share with the public where we are. This airport has been an albatross to the county forever. It is something this county probably never, ever wanted. It was here before I got here. It has suffered from neglect. It has suffered from all kinds of things. At one time, this airport could have been a reliever airport for the Sioux Falls Airport. But commissioners before my time took a crosswind runway away and built hangars on it. And there's a lot of people that made a lot of money on that, right? So this year, it was my intent to work with David and work with those individuals that have hangars out there to try to come up with a plan to set this on a course so that we can make this airport self-sustaining. I don't disagree with Commissioner Aaron's on any money that we do expend, that we expect to get it back. So given this opportunity, we had 20 acres that we got or received from the FAA at no cost to the Lincoln County taxpayers. 20 acres to develop hangars on that can return us a sizable amount of money when hangars are built and for rent. And with that, in about a 3 to 5 year period, it is projected that this thing will be on a positive area. But I want to go back to Mr. Putnam here, who makes these allocations about secret meetings. There are no secret meetings. If the airport people that own, and David, you can vouch for this, when they called a meeting, and there are about 4 of those that were in attendance, they issued an invitation, or said they did, to myself, to David, and they also said they were going to issue one to Commissioner Aaron's. And whether you got that or not, I do not know. So we did have a meeting, and which time we sat and listened to what the airport owner of the hangars wanted to do. Now, it's one thing to fight with them, it's one thing to argue with them, but it's an easy situation. You can be a critic all day long. You can find all kinds of faults. You can give me all kinds of rhetoric. But what are you doing to put this on a path so that it will pay for itself? We have that ahead of us. We have a method that this will be done. Now, you could sit there and say, no, 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 and all this other kind of stuff, and give me all kinds of figures, which I disagree with. But until I hear something that is a better method to put the Lincoln County Airport on a path of self-sufficiency, I will welcome that. But until that time, we have that, and it's going to be presented in front of us in the next weeks to come.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other board
I do.
discussion?
I have rebuttal to that. The airport could end up being 100% solvent if everything's done right. The only problem that they have with the airport is one person that isn't on the board needs to be running that airport. And now I'll explain it to you very simply. NASA, they quit flying planes because they weren't smart enough and they couldn't, I don't know, get along, and it cost too much. Elon Musk, he comes in and boy, he can do it for a fraction of what the NASA does it for, because he's one person, he's just doing it. And he makes things and he makes it better and it does better. This airport board, or this airport, if the county doesn't build the hangars and let the other people build them, we're still going to be in the red. It'll be a Band-Aid. Well, we might be in the black for a little bit, but it'll just be a Band-Aid. So the county has to figure out a way to run this airport and have one person, and then he talks to the board to do it. Because it's never going to work with 5 people sitting here trying to think they can run that airport. Never happen.
All right, any other board discussion from the commission? Yeah, I was gonna ask if anybody was here from the airport that would like to come up and address comments that were made.
Dave Myers at the airport. I think we need to remember there's economic impact at our airport. And its economic impact is hard to measure, but there's employment out there, there's fuel sales, we get hangar lease rates, and as Mr. Aarons knows, there's training out there. So there's a lot of economic impact to our airport. And Mr. Putman said there's a $1.9 million of debt. We got $922,000 of that back from the federal government. So that reduces that, and we have about $400,000 still sitting in the general account. So if you equate all that out, the airport is at a deficit of probably around $70,000 a year. But we do have economic impact at our airport.
Let me ask you a question. David, of all the people that own hangars, how many live in Lincoln County? Just roughly.
It's over
50%?
half, it's over half, Mr. Putman.
Is over half?
Yeah.
55%?
I don't know the exact number.
Okay. I have nothing against the business aviation. They have quite a few employees and stuff, and it is economically. It's the citizens, the tax-paying citizens of Lincoln County that are subsidizing everything. Now, that business aviation, is that what it's called?
It's Legacy Aviation.
Legacy, okay. I have nothing against them, never met the guys or whoever. Did meet the guy's wife yesterday at a funeral. But they even live in Minnehaha County. You know, I have nothing against that either. It's just the fact is that we have to get it in the black so they don't have to be subsidized.
We will. As soon as we start developing that 20 acres, you'll see a huge change out there.
What's the objectivity on the building it then? What's the
So we have to get
plans?
grant money to start the infrastructure of the taxiways. And once
Yeah.
that happens, we'll start, and then hangars can be developed.
But you have to build a 900 square foot porta potty there for the people flying in to be able to relax.
There's an FBO there. It's right at Legacy Aviation. The county owns that building. And that's where there's flight planning, restrooms, all those types of things.
Okay, so when anybody flying in, then they go there then?
That's where they go.
Okay. So that Helms and Associates, they said, then they probably weren't aware of that.
They're aware of that, but there's money out there to have a new terminal building for the airport. If the commission wants to go forward with that.
Well, there's 90% of the FAA will pay 90% of everything once things are completed. I heard somebody on the board here say, well, that's gonna cost way too much money to be maintaining it. Who moves the snow in front of all the hangars?
I do.
Do you? So then we would end up having to move the snow on all the rest of the hangars.
That's
if we
correct.
build them.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. There just needs to be more and better planning on that deal.
We're moving in the right direction.
Well,
We're not
it's
going
all in the right
backwards.
direction. Tread forward, that's 100%. So, good enough, thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak on this subject? Sherry, did you want to address any of the numbers?
No, David.
All right, thank you. All right, any public input on the presentation and discussion?
Scott Montgomery Fairview. I know this is a contentious item, but I don't think the taxpayers ought to be paying for a few people to enjoy their hobby. I mean, we keep hearing how this economic impact. There's an economic impact, all right, on every one of the taxpayers. Show me how these guys flying in and out here for a hobby is adding anything to Lincoln County or the taxpayers. You know, we all say, well, the federal government pays it. Well, who in the hell is, that's my tax money too. I mean, because it doesn't come from Lincoln County makes it better? No. It's all tax money. You know, we heard these guys say there's no place up, no other hangars available. And then we want to coddle them and say, well, we can't raise that up that much. That's too much. Where else are they going to go? Why would this not be a money-making business? If it's not a money-making business, we need to get out of it. We sat here and, you guys expect a raise, but you're throwing my money away. I mean, come on here. What in the world's going on here? Look how good we are. I just seen 1.97 million or something to that effect that you're losing. Don't tell me how good you are.
Thank you, Scott.
Any other public input on the discussion and presentation? All right, if not, then we will.
Oh, we got somebody coming.
Linda Montgomery, Fairview, South Dakota. I guess this is one of the things that I had hoped would change this meeting. We have, we're talking about the airport, and I'll stick to the airport. And all of a sudden, in this last year, we think that we are going to change something that hasn't been able to change in 27 years. You know, all of a sudden, boy, we got to do something. It's just like the roof on the courthouse. It's just like the old courthouse. Don't do maintenance for 5 years. Well, we've had that airport for a very long time, and now all of a sudden, we want to change everything and put the taxpayer at risk again. You know, I do believe, that's why I was hoping for a change in liaisons. Because I think that's the only way proper change can happen. And you get a new outlook on how things are being run in any organization. And that's only being positive and prudent. When you're looking at something as big as this airport, that the citizens are telling you today, or a few of us, that this is an albatross. And it isn't the only albatross us citizens are carrying. And I agree totally with you guys. Voting yourself a raise is disgusting to me. You don't deserve it. Because things aren't being fixed. Things aren't being changed. You sit up here and argue with each other instead of working together, instead of listening to each other, instead of telling us how wrong citizens are for having expectations of you, of the airport, of our money. I believe right now what we need to do with this airport is have a full audit of everything that has happened with that airport, because something stinks. You have the owners in charge of an airport that the county runs, that taxpayers are paying for, and you are letting the owners run it. That's not even smart. So I really do believe we need a full audit of the airport. I'm talking monies, I'm talking people. You know, there is something that is not sitting right with me with this airport. If the owners want it, let the airport buy it and run it. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Other comment or discussion on this agenda item? All right, if not, then we will move on.
Madam Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Going back to getting rid of the airport, we can't. There are rules in place. I mean, I was probably the one that detested the airport, that Lincoln County owned it the most until you start digging into it. You can't just sell it. You can't just sell it to the airport. There are rules and regulations that come from the federal government. You can't just sell it. And I don't know if David wants to address that or not, but you can't just sell it. It has to be under regulations set forth by the federal government. So I just wanted to let you know that, Linda. I looked into that. You can't just sell it. So thank you for bringing that up, though.
Thank you for that. David, did you want to address the comment?
So there's grant assurances, like Ms. Otten said, that if we do sell our report, we'd have to pay that back. And I think Drew and I visited with that amount on Friday, and there's like over $30 million that we'd have to pay back if the county wanted to take that over. So it's a lot of money, so.
Thank you for that.
Madam Chair, the only way we can get rid of the airport is to sell it or give it to another governmental entity. So if the city of T wanted it, the city of Sioux Falls wanted it, it has to be a governmental entity for us to divest ourselves of that.
All right, next, we're going to move on to our opportunity for public comment for items not on our agenda. If anybody would like to come up. If not, commissioner reports. Oh,
I have one too, and he's done.
yep, I have a commission office report. Good
Yeah, it's-
morning, Paul.
Morning, Paul Anderson, Assistant Commission Administrator, or Assistant Commission Administrative Assistant. Just wanted to bring up, session starts next week for the South Dakota Legislature. So and I mentioned it a couple of times, there's a bunch of drafts of proposed bills out there already that we've started tracking. Just some brief numbers, there's already 2 related to the commission, to county commissions, 2 related to planning and zoning. There's already at least 9 election bills. There's 1 bill to help veterans and requesting records from the Register of Deeds. There's 1 bill affecting highway departments if they bid with the state. And there's at least 4 property tax bills already out there. So there will be a flurry of bills this year. There will be a lot of stuff going on. So I will be tracking as much as I possibly can and keeping up with other groups. But just something to be aware of, that it's going to be another busy year in Pierre. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to commissioner reports.
Yeah,
Any
I've got one,
commissioners
if I
have a
can.
report they'd like to make? Go ahead, Commissioner Putnam.
I had the opportunity to watch a fire at Casey's along the interstate there. A pickup had started on fire. And when I got there, I parked on the highway there and watched everybody do everything. The fire department got there. They did a very good job. Lincoln County Sheriff's Department was there, kind of controlling things. They did a good job. The T Fire Department, they did what I think would be a pretty excellent job in going about how they went about putting the fire out. They have the equipment, which was good. And they went about it the right way. It was impressive. And that's what I want to say. Then there's one other thing, is John Rambo, he's got a painting in his office, and he needs to share that with the rest of the people of Lincoln County. He needs to be out here on the hallway, because it's very good painting. So I think people need to see it. I'm done.
Any other commissioners have reports this morning?
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
Mr. and Mrs. McKinney, they're in our audience today, and they come to a lot of our meetings. And about a month ago, they came to one of our meetings and they said to me, "Hey, Aaron's, the vault door from inside the boiler room of this old courthouse is sitting on a trailer. What is going on with that vault door?" And I said, went over, I saw it, it's the black vault door that many of the people who have gone through the courthouse who served on the courthouse committee would have seen when they went on our tour. And there's actually a vault inside of our boiler room that used to be used to secure valuables and things like that. And it has a very, it's got like what, John, a decorative kind of motif on it that's, very historic and things like that. And the McKinney said to me, well, why is that getting hauled away? And I said, I don't know. Nobody's told me anything about it. Don't know anything about it. So I asked John, and John said, well, yeah, the reason that we're taking that out of the basement is we're going to put that into the new courthouse as a, I don't know, like a statue, as like an honorific. It's going to sit somewhere in the new courthouse. I don't know where. I assume hopefully on the first floor when people are walking in. And so the public will hopefully be greeted by a number of things, but one of the things they're going to see from now on, and Mr. and Mrs. McKinney, this is my way of giving you an answer of what's going on, is that old vault door is going to be like on display, if you will, as a museum piece in the new courthouse. And it's probably a fitting tribute for it. It's probably not getting a lot of celebration down there in the basement, right, John? And so that's a really good idea. And then I thought to myself, well, how come nobody's telling us any of this stuff? Like, why am I finding out from the McKinneys when it's being put on the back of a trailer? And so I think it's important that this commission is getting updates before it's decided as to what's going on over there at the courthouse. And we're going to celebrate America 250 years this year, and I think that's going to be important. And so hopefully, our courthouse is going to open up later in the year, of course, but maybe there's ways that we can find tributes to America as well as to Lincoln County and put them in this new courthouse. I don't know if that's with statues or murals or, things like this, but this vault door is a good start. And I just think I wanted to tell the public about that because they asked, and now you know.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Madam Chair.
And
I'll
I'll say too, this was something that Commissioner Gibbon discussed when we were working on the airport, and it was part of the design that we were going to remove that vault door and put it into the new, Justice Center, and make it a focal point in the new courthouse, on the main floor, in the lobby area, so that everybody will be able to see it. And it is a pretty cool door, really cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing the final product.
Madam Chair, can I add to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, now, my understanding is there's art on the door. Is that right, John? And that's part of the ambiance of that door.
Yeah, it says Lincoln County. I think it's the red letters, and it's got some ornate metalwork at the top of it. It's a neat door for sitting in a basement that nobody gets to see.
John Rombo, Building Superintendent. I guess just to clarify it, so there's multiple vault doors in the old courthouse. I probably believe they all resembled this in my heart. I believe they probably all resembled this at one point, but as you know, the old courthouse was modified multiple times, and unfortunately, they painted most of those doors silver. This particular one, I always thought, well, maybe somebody from the Lincoln County area painted this painting on this door. Well, as we got looking into it, we reached out to some local people in town here that I thought might know the story behind the door, and one of them did just a quick Google search, and sure enough, the manufacturer of those vault doors had a son who was an artist. And when those doors were created and shipped out from that safe company, sometimes they came out with a painting on it. And sure enough, as we researched it, we found one that looks really similar to our door, but it isn't the same painting. So it's obviously the same artist, and that's where it came from, was original from the Safe Company back in the day when it was built. So, more to the story, I guess.
Thank you.
Yep.
We should have a plaque or something by it that explains all of that, if we can tie it all together.
Yes, I believe that will be displayed as well. That's the intent anyway.
All right.
Well, maybe we'll have a curator that'll walk around and explain it to the people that are touring.
Well, hopefully a plaque will do that.
Okay.
Thank you, John. Any other commissioner reports this morning? All right, any executive session needed?
Yes, under 125 to sub 3.
All right, I need a motion to go into executive session pursuant to SDCL 125-2, sub 3.
Otten makes a motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Alicia, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Schmidt?
Yes.
Putnam?
Yes.
Otten?
Yes.
Aaron's?
Yes.
Landine?
Yes, motion carries. Out of executive session? I know, but I'm waiting until we are back online.
Oh.
Okay, I've got a motion from
Me?
Schmidt, a second from Commissioner Otten to come out of executive session. Alicia, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Schmidt?
Yes.
Putnam?
Yes.
Otten?
Yes.
Aaron's?
Yes.
Landine?
Yes, motion carries. Next, I just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second? I've got a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign? All right, we're adjourned.
the liaisons?